Give me another word.
Seismograph.
Dude trying to trip me up with his seismograph. I think it's funny, I can pick a better time to laugh. I find the path. You don't know all the rhymes I have. The only thing that don't sit well within this mind is math.
Bruh. What's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for the Netflix original Project Power, starring Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Dominic Fishback. Now, this film is rated R, and it does have a runtime of 1 hour, 51 minutes, and it did come out on August 14th, 2020. When a pill that gives its users unpredictable superpowers for 5 minutes hits the streets of New Orleans, a teenage dealer and a local cop must team with an ex-soldier to take down the group responsible for its creation. Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel first and foremost, and if you guys are new, welcome. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button if you guys do appreciate movie and streaming news reviews like this, as well as I do a weekly show with my buddy Elliot from Movie Files, where we break down every Sunday 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time all of the weekly movie and television news. We call it the weekly wrap up. All right, so once again guys, if you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe and bell notification. But today we are talking about Project Power. It is the newest to hit Netflix, and Netflix has had a slew every week of these Netflix originals, right? But this one in particular, I did see the trailer, and I'll put actually the card up above right here for my reaction on the trailer, guys, about a month ago. So I saw this coming out to Netflix, and my reactions were just, nah, it looks like it might be pretty good on the CGI level. And what did I get? So I'll get into my pros and my cons of the film Project Power. Once again, it is starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt as well as Jamie Foxx and new addition Dominic Fishback. So someone that I had not seen at all, so she was a fresh face to me. But that's pretty much the three that we do focus on in this movie. So before I go into what I thought of the story itself, let's go over the pros of the performances themselves. So we have Jamie Foxx as Art, and he's someone who is getting really typecasted in these movies lately, ever since Sleepless and around that area, guys. As far as someone's taken his kid, or he has to do, some kind of revenge factor or whatever, Jamie Foxx has become a typecast character in the last 5 to 7 years in my eyes. I don't know what's going on in Hollywood with this manager or what, but he's playing the exact same character in every damn movie. Now, you guys can argue that point, but his nature, his mannerisms, his writing, his delivery of the dialogue for this character of Art was no different than I saw in Sleepless. So the only thing I can say is maybe in a couple more scenes he was vicious a little more, especially to the character of Robin, played by Dominic Fishback. It seemed like he was really trying to intimidate her and threaten her in certain situations to get whatever he needed to get out of her. Now, that's not to say necessarily his performance was bad at whatsoever. I mean, Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx, so he puts on a good performance regardless of the character he plays. Now, jumping to Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Frank, he does play a New Orleans cop, and to me, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, his accents that he throws on, in this case, New Orleans accent, at sometimes he's kind of yelling, so he loses the accent, but when he's slowly talking to somebody, he has an accent again. So I don't know what's going on with that, but to me, it's like he's reaching. He's really trying a little bit too hard to kind of get into this role, this character. But once again, he's playing the character of that guy in Looper. So, he's not reaching or stretching his acting ability 1000%. And that was kind of underutilized as far as the main characters of Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They seemed very, very cookie cutter. But once again, are they giving bad performances? No. They're giving good performances because they're good seasoned actors. So that's what I did appreciate it. But I felt like I was just watching a typical revenge movie. Now, jumping to Dominic Fishback as Robin. Once again, fresh face. I don't know her from a can of paint. So to me, she is someone that is new. It looks like she was also in the film The Hate U Give. I didn't catch that one. So once again, this is my kind of introduction to her. Now, what did I think? Right as our introduction of her as a dealer, dealing this product called Power. I didn't care for her too much. But as the movie rolled on about a half an hour in, I started to develop that she was someone that was, kind of going under the radar. They always deal with kid dealers under the radar because no one suspects them, right? I mean, going all the way back to the 90s with Fresh in that film. I absolutely love that film. Thought it was extremely underrated as a hood movie. And, I don't think they tackle that subject nature too much as far as the dealing aspect when it comes to children. So she is someone who's in high school, maybe about 15 or 16, or maybe even older because she is driving a motorcycle for some reason. Yet she's still in private high school. So I did like the way her character developed once again as a fresh new face. So I thought she did impress me a bit. I mean, she had some good acting chops. There were some scenes of her backstory that aren't even touched on. So I don't even know why they incorporate this into her character. She raps. So very cliche. Someone that's coming from an urban city, and no ways to get out other than to sell drugs. She raps. Why did they even need to throw that in there? Because there's no tie-in at the end. There's a scene of her rapping in a flashback in the beginning, and there's a scene of her rapping to Jamie Foxx, which was totally unnecessary. She didn't use any of that to her gain. It had no incorporation into her story tie-in really, other than her aspirations of maybe becoming a rapper someday. But that's a 1 in a freaking million shot. Like, let's see it realistic. She has more, aspirations of becoming a drug dealer in this character, guys. I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but in this character, she seems to be selling good of a product that is like booming on the market right now. So that's what I'm talking about when I refer to that. So it just seemed a bit far-fetched and kind of just a plot device that was thrown in there that we don't really even get a callback to later on in the film. Now, let's jump to the thing that everyone is watching this movie for, the superpowers. So you take a drug called power and it gives you superpowers. So we think for 5 minutes. Now, here's where they really don't touch on it, I guess, in the trailer. Some people gain superpowers. Some people gain something far worse. Some people actually die and explode or even OD the first time they take this. So I think that was the twist that we got in this film. Also jumping to a ending scene with Jamie Foxx where we got another twist with him and his daughter in this movie. I thought was a pretty cool, plot device. But the actual drug itself, I think, was extremely underutilized. We only got to see, bulletproof. We got to see a little bit of invincibility. We got to see someone get large, which looked very, very CGI. It looked really bad. Even for a Netflix movie, it looked really, really bad. I think I would have liked to see it, elaborated on a little more, a little cooler. I mean, this is Netflix. These are big stars. Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Come on, push it. I want to see them push the envelope of coolness, of creativity, especially when you're dealing with a drug that gives you super abilities for 5 minutes. Touch on it a little more. And I didn't really get that feel. Instead, I got more of a cop revenge type of film. And I think that was their main central focal point on that. We got to see a cameo from Machine Gun Kelly, guys, and you already know my thoughts. I think if a movie has Machine Gun Kelly in it, it's usually a dud to me, with the, exception of Bird Box, which I really, really liked, but he does have a cameo in that movie. And in this film, he does have a short cameo once again. Also, with the exception of Staten Island, the King of Staten Island, which he was also in. I just remembered that right there. That was a good film as well. So I think I don't like Machine Gun Kelly in general. I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's just a rapper turned actor that's needs to stick to rapping. But anyways, that's besides the point, guys. But they did show off his ability right at the beginning, and I thought his power was the coolest. But once again, we only get to see him in like 5 minutes of the freaking movie at the beginning. So those are my thoughts overall going into this, guys. No spoilers whatsoever. But did I have a fun time with Project Power? Yeah, I did. But it was a one and done movie. And because of that, I got to give it a solid 3 out of 5. Barely a 2.9, but I'll give it a solid 3 out of 5 for effort. And once again, the performances were there. I guess in the third act, it was just not holding me. Probably even sooner than the third act. I'm talking about like the last 45 minutes of the movie. I was tuned out. I was not interested whatsoever. Also, I totally forgot about this, but we can't neglect a character in itself is the score. So the last maybe 30 minutes of this movie, this elaborate score kind of came in to set the tension, and holy crap, it was like tingling, like spine tingling. The hairs were raising off of my arm right here. Whoever did the, composing for this movie, and I'll put it right here because I don't want to, I don't know it off the top of the brain. They did a great job. So I definitely give them a plus for that. It probably raised up my score a lot more than if it didn't have that epic score. So once again, 3 out of 5 for Project Power. All right, guys, did you appreciate my rant for Project Power? Do you guys plan to see it this weekend? Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys did appreciate my review on this film, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe and bell notification to get notified about more content like this, as well as movie news and lives and watch-alongs coming up soon. All right, guys, till next time, I'm gone. Peace.